Yeah, I think this will rise up some more. Currently at 64.44. So I do see it going to 66.69 before reversing back down. It's already taking this high right here. Yeah, definitely push through that. Just see this. So there is a daily resistance at 64.65. So let's see if we get the rejection. But if we start pushing past through that, I would wait for 66.70 so that we can look for sells, because this will need some correction. On oil, who was asking? Ariel, yeah. So I would just wait. I wouldn't chase this now, unless you have buys to hold. CSD CAD selling to about. Okay, we'll check it. Honestly, I see USD CAD falling a lot for the year, like for this whole year. Okay, if you are in a buy, I would hold that buy. I would definitely hold that. What was your entry on this oil buy? $64.24. Okay, so you recently bought. So you bought right there. Actually, that's a nice entry. You bought at the bottom of that wick. So I would hold on to that. Yep, I would hold on to that.
Does Forex sell oil? Can you buy oil on Forex?
Yeah, you can, but it's just not in the same category as like regular majors. And also it depends on your broker, if your broker offers, but pretty sure like every broker should offer oil to be traded.
Okay.
So that would be, hold on. So my broker actually has specific section for oil. So I don't know which broker you have, but there should be folders when you're adding the pairs to your watch list, and it definitely gonna be in a separate folder. And you just have to pay attention because there's two different oils. There's crude oil and Brent crude. So this will be some forex brokers have it as WTI, some have it as US oil, some have it as crude oil. So it's all the same.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, this should keep going up a little bit higher. But I would watch around 64, 65 because that's a daily resistance right there. If we go back on the daily, see there's resistance right there, also right here, and you see it's a very, very valid zone, because once you switch on the line chart, you see how it rejected, and every time it broke through, it retested. Every time it broke below, retested again. Same thing here. So I would just watch for 64, 65. Gold is next. Gold gapped like crazy.
Gold.
Let's see. So I would expect gold to retrace this week to this support that it broke at 1555, 1556, because that was a major resistance that was not broken for a very long time, and then most likely start moving higher. As you see, this we can actually delete that, and that is the current support at 1555. Next resistance would be at this level here, which is 1618, so 1618. So that's definitely now something to look as a target for a long, but I would expect some retrace first. We'll just see how next 2, 3, 4 hour candles close, and right around the New York, we should see if this will start retracing or it will actually just start pushing up. If it starts pushing past 1580, then I think it will just keep going up. But right now, those buyers are trapped in that area, and it could very well come back down for that retest, and that retest would be nice from current level. That would be 215 pips, so would be nice to see that. USD CAD, someone says I see sell to 29,590. Okay, let's take a look. Actually, I see it going even further down. I would honestly target 1.2850 if you are in a sell. It's going to be another 100 pips for you. Let's just see on the daily. Yeah, it definitely broke this low on the daily. Right there. So what can happen now is that it can come back up and retest this before further fall. And I'm pretty sure we will see 1.2850 this week, because that's a demand zone and also weekly support. So if you are in a sell, I would definitely hold that sell. Maybe
Excuse me. When you say if you're in a sale to hold the sale, do you mean like if you bought some and you're trying to sell it to hold on, or to buy to sell it? I don't get it.
No. So the person that was asking, they say that they see USD CAD falling to 29,590. Current price is at 29,771. So what they are saying, they see USD CAD falling 28 more pips, and I see it falling a little bit more. So I'm assuming that if they ask that they see it falling a little bit more, that they are in a sell. So what I'm trying to say, if they are in the sell, I would say to hold that sell because it should drop further down. But if you are not in the sell, I would wait for it to see the retest at 1.30250 and then look for some sells.
Okay. Okay.
If that makes sense, because this is now daily resistance right here. And this is weekly support. So that will be the next target. Because it broke this this daily support, and now that serves as a resistance. It's just that I would like to see some retest before falling down furthermore for more reasons. First of all, that's additional confirmation. Second of all, you get a better sell entry, because if you were to sell right now, your stop loss has to be 60 pips, right? And you will target 125. But if you sell from here, your stop loss may be 35 pips instead of 60, and you target 175 pips. So the risk to reward is much better.
I had a question because I'm
Sure.
fairly new to this. When do you buy? Because I thought that the concept of this was buying when it's low and selling when it's high.
You could buy, but I don't prefer to do that, right? Because what if this just keeps going down, right? Right now it's consolidating. So all this right here at the moment is just consolidation, right? So for me to buy this, it would have to break above this 4-hour consolidation right here, right? Because right now, look at the last two candles on 4-hour. They are pretty bearish, so there's no confirmation to buy, right? But what this can do, this can come a little bit more down and then start going back for that retrace, right? To retest that resistance that it broke through, right? Which was previously support. So there's buying at this moment doesn't make any sense, right? Because it looks pretty bearish, and we expect it to go further down. So either sell from the top right here, from this resistance, or sell on the break of this consolidation. Some people call it, like if you hear somebody mention, I'm trading the breakouts, so that will be the breakout to the downside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Lonel, what do you mean? What's the weekly? The weekly support is at 1.2850, and the daily resistance is at 1.30250. So if you look to sell, I would look to sell from that zone. And since you are in a sell, I would hold for the weekly support TP. Tatum. So either you wait for the retest back of this resistance, or you can enter on the break of this consolidation. So it would have to be sell stop at 1.29450. Yeah, so if it breaks, you put sell stop at 1.29450. And then you target 95 pips. And your stop loss off of that breakout would be just above the last 4-hour candle, which we will see which one that would be, most likely in about 8 to 12 hours. So I would look at this around New York session again, because I don't think this will just break right now, unless there's some news that come out. Okay, let me write it down. here we go. Let me know if you guys can see that. Or you can take a screenshot, or actually I'll take a screenshot so you guys can save it. I'll put it here in the chat so you don't have to type it out. You can just click on that link and save it. All right. That will be USD CAD. Let's see USD CHF. All right, I see some trend line respect here. Oh yeah. Damn, that was perfect rejection off of this weekly trend line, and this is very strong trend line. It goes all the way from August 2011. It was tested twice, 3, 4 times now, so it held. So one rule for the new people who may not know, every time you see a retest of the certain zone and it tested it for the 3 times, whether it's support, resistance, or the trend line, any other attempt like 4th, 5th, or 6th can be the breakout, right? So we had the 4th test and it didn't break through, right? So if we get another pullback down to this trend line, it could definitely result in the break and we can continue trading this lower. But it's been bearish for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. So it's due to some retrace. But again, let's take a look on the daily.
That was US. That's USDC. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Right now we are on USD CHF. Actually rejected also daily support. So yeah, no selling at the moment. Yeah, no selling at the moment. So yeah, there's a nice demand zone right here, and say 1, 2, third time came to test that. So we could see some push up, and I do favor dollar to open with some strength recovery tomorrow. So dollar index opens at 8 a.m. Eastern time. So we'll see what that indicates.
So you think the dollar's gonna go up tomorrow? I mean, sometime this week.
I would like to see it go up for maybe tomorrow or Tuesday, and then go back to being weak, because all these pairs with USD, they need some retrace. So USD CAD, USD CHF, gold also, along with the gap. USD JPY also had a gap. So that will do few things, you know. It will give the retrace for the current market structure, and also it will cover those gaps. And then it should continue its normal direction, which would be weak dollar.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why, like, you really don't want to enter USD trade as soon as the market opens, for a few reasons. We don't have DXI opening. We didn't have the New York session yet, so we don't know what is the bias here in US when all the banks and institutions open tomorrow morning, and it's gonna be a lot of billions and billions pushed in the market, and you don't want to be caught on the wrong side, because right now we don't have enough confirmation. Yeah, this rejected 3 times here and rejected the daily support. That's great, but maybe, you know, we can get something like, you know, double bottom on the daily into this support and then, you know, go back up. And you are stuck in the sell, and if you are busy, you're not able to check your trade, or you don't have the stop loss, which is even worse, then you can, you know, end up losing money. Yes, we'll check Bitcoin. We will check GJ.
So
Yeah.
if I it's fair.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna ask, like, so if I had bought stock on Thursday, just leave it alone.
If you have bought what, sorry?
If I had already brought, like, I brought you like the 10 point, you know, the 0.1. If I brought that on Thursday, should I just like wait till it goes up, or?
If you bought the USD CHF,
Yeah, I brought that on Thursday.
what was your entry?
0.1, like the $29 thing. It was like 29 or 20.99.
Hold on. 0.1.
Yeah, I put the lowest amount.
Oh, okay, so your lot size was 0.1, right? Yeah, but at what price did you bought it? Because right now is 0.97053.
0.97052.
Okay, so you are pretty much, you're at the break even at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, so you shouldn't be in a loss. Maybe with the swap fee, you are in, you know, small loss, but as far as the pip count, you are not really in the loss.
Okay.
So if you bought that, I personally would hold it, just because we should get some retrace, and also there's you know, multiple structures here that, you know, should hold this from just, you know, dropping continuously without giving us some pullback.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Yes.
Okay. All right. But yeah, but for me right now, the way I trade and how I look for confirmations, I don't have enough confirmation to buy this.
Okay.
First of all, on Friday, we closed with a bearish hammer candle right here. This one right there. Then we already opened bearish right now. So there's like, that tells you, okay, don't buy this right now.
Okay.
And we had the previous two weak rejections further to the upside. However, that does not mean that we will, you know, not get the, you know, some momentum to the upside to get the retrace that we are looking for.
Okay.
So yeah, Bitcoin. Okay, let's see. So here we go. Bitcoin has been in this zone for a little while. I mean, honestly, not a pretty structure. So let's go daily. Okay. So this is weekly resistance for Bitcoin. And this is weekly support. So unless you are in the trade, I would not trade it at the moment. The reason number one, it's almost at the weekly resistance again, and it could be another rejection and you can get into the nice sell back to the downside. Also, for the buy, I would wait for this breakout to the upside and retest, and then we can target next level would be 8,400 or 8,400, but that's only after this breakout. I think Ariel asked about Bitcoin. Yep. So unless you are in this at the moment, if you are in the buy, then great, I would hold it. If you are in the sell, I would babysit this. So yeah, I hope it breaks because I see the inverse head and shoulders. On what time frame you see that?
I'm looking at the Bitcoin line right now.
On the daily? It's not a pretty head and shoulder. Do you know why? Because if you consider these shoulders, right here, they're almost at the same level as the head. So it's not the prettiest head and shoulders, right? And let's just do it. Where you are. Okay, there we go. Yeah, you see the wick is in the level with the head, so that right there I don't like already. So if this is something you are looking at, yeah, the inverse head and shoulders are bullish reversal pattern. For you, some of you guys that don't know, so inverse head and shoulders looks something like this, except I would like to see shoulders a little bit lower, especially because of this wick right here that is in the level with this head. So that's my concern, and that's why I said, yeah, it's not really pretty as head and shoulders, inverted head and shoulders formation, but it is a bullish reversal pattern, one of them. So yeah, I would wait for the breakout still, Ariel. So if it breaks above 7,800, it's going to 8,400. There's no doubt, because that's the next resistance for it, which is still 600 pips. Because right now you don't want to buy and then it rejects this strong zone that it wasn't above that level for 2 months almost, right? So I would just wait for it, because this is a strong supply zone right there. Could be a lot of pending sell orders that can go against you from that level. Next, GJ. Love GJ. Let's see. Okay, just delete this.
JP. Is it too late to buy into this one here?
Is it late to buy which pair?
To buy into the JBP.
GBP, JPY?
Yeah.
I don't know that we were in the buy, to be honest. because it definitely rejected the key level and it fell down 330 pips since.
Okay.
So unless this daily support can hold
Mhm.
right there,
Mhm.
which for right now it's sitting on and rejecting, I would not be buying it.
Mhm.
So I would wait for this daily to close, which is tomorrow 5 p.m. Eastern time. We did had two rejections. This bearish momentum has been stagnant at this daily support, but we need to see some market interest into buying this, right? Because we don't want to get caught in the breakout, even though this buying pressure is not strong at the moment, already leaving weak print to the upside. So I would just be careful with that. And yeah, it's consolidating on 4 hour. This could be a nice breakout during the London. See this 1 hour consolidation. So it's something I would definitely watch during the London. Just mark on 1 hour support and resistance and see which way it starts breaking, and then off of that you either buy or sell. That's one of the simplest strategies, and they are very powerful, but they are only traded on GBP pairs, and it's known as a London breakout strategy. Because during the first hour of London session, once you get that breakout, either to the upside or the downside, you can just buy it for anywhere between 50 and 100 pips, because mainly we'll just keep pushing in the direction of that breakout, because that means like all the European banks, they are interested into driving that price in the direction of the breakout. But right now, yeah, it is respecting the support. It's a daily support, so it's a strong zone. So, but I would still not buy just yet. Uh, Bowden, do we wait of the retests for what? During the London. So okay, let me show you guys example. Actually, let me teach you that strategy right now. So the way the London breakout works, you count last 3 candles on 1 hour. So let's say right now was not 10:44 p.m. Let's say it was 2:44 a.m. Right? So 16 minutes before London opening. So what you would do, you would I prefer to take this rectangle, and I would count last 3 candles, right? Sometimes you can do 4 just to be safe, but it pretty much last 3. So it will be this current candle, one next to it, and this one right here, right? So you mark high and the low, right? So this is it. So once this candle closes, let's say it pushes up a little bit more. So then you would have to readjust this zone a little bit higher, because that candle will not be the breakout candle, right? And let's just go off of it that it stays like the way it is right now. So we count those candles right there. And the first candle of London session opening, which would be the next candle after this, once 3 a.m. starts, like once this candle concludes, you will see either start breaking up or down. So essentially, the the strategy explained to the T would be buy stop 10 pips above this high right here, and sell stop 10 pips below this support. So that will help you catch that breakout, right? So And this is not 100% accurate strategy. Obviously, there's nothing like that, but it is like 80% accurate. So 8 out of the 10 times you will catch that move, right? So if you prefer to trade the London and you don't really have yet the strategy, this is one of the simplest strategies that are there, and it's 8 out of the 10 times. So if you use the proper risk management, you will do really well. So it will be 10 pips buy stop above the high of those candles, and sell stop 10 pips below the low of those candles. Does that make sense? Okay, perfect. Or I mean, you can wait for the retests. It's up to you. I was just explaining you exactly how the strategy works. You can wait. So let's say it breaks to the upside, and you are more conservative, right? You want to wait for the retest of this broken high, right? And then look for a buys. That's perfectly fine. But guess what can happen? What can happen is that this starts breaking and just up. Because once that momentum kick, it can go, it can break up 50 pips and retrace for 20, and then continue another 50. But you are waiting for the retest right here. So that means if the breakout, you know, pushed 50 pips up and you don't get 50 pips retrace, that means you missed on that trade. Does that make sense as well? Okay, cool. Perfect. So that is why that strategy is composed of the buy and sell stop, so that you catch once it starts pushing up. Because like we said, let's say it was 10 pips above, right? And this pushed 50 pips. So that means you're 40 pips into profit. And even if you get the retrace, all 50 pips, you will only be in 10 pip drawdown before it starts going back up. But if you don't get, if what the first case we mentioned, it was only 20 pip retrace, so that means you are 20 pip in the profit already, and then you can add another position once you see that that retrace is done, and you are riding 2 positions in a profit, and you will just see where it tops off, which most likely will be this structure right here, because that will be the next high. Yes, last 3 candles on 1 hour time frame. Before London opens. So if you are like I am, I live on East Coast. So for me, that would be midnight to 1 a.m., 1 a.m. to 2 a.m., and 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. Those three are the ones I'm looking at, right? If you are on West Coast, which is Pacific time, that means you are looking candles 9 p.m. to 10 p.m., 10 p.m. to 11, and 11 p.m. to midnight, because the London session opens midnight Pacific Standard Time. Or if you are in Europe, then London sessions opens at 9 a.m. So you would look at the candles 6 to 7, 7 to 8, and 8 to 9 a.m. Easter is the time zone we are in on the East Coast. So anywhere from Maine to Florida. It pretty much stands for Eastern Standard Time. That's what EST means. It's just abbreviation for it. Oh, you are Central Time. Okay, so you are 1 hour behind us. So you are, I guess, Midwest. So that would mean you're gonna look for 11 p.m. to midnight, midnight to 1, and 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. because the London will open at 2 a.m. your time. Yeah, I mean, I figured you do, but I mean, I just got carried if explaining. Oh, why am I giving so many different? Because we have people from everywhere. Some people live on West Coast, some live in Europe. We have some people in Australia that are in our group. So, Kyla, I'm not sure what are you referring to. Can you explain? What do you mean? What is the Eastern time again? You mean the candles you look at, like what times of Eastern time, or yeah? So it will be uh, the one. So from midnight to 1 a.m. So that's 1 hour candle. From 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. second candle, and from 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. is the third candle. So you look for the high of those three and low among them, and then the buy stop would be 10 pips above the high and sell stop 10 pips below. Sure, you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, so that's that. But yeah, there's a good chance that GBP could recover this week some. So yeah, I would just like to see what it does during the London session. It did show a nice sign rejecting here, but I would like to see this price break 14150 and continue going. That's what I would like to see. Oh, no need to be sorry. You're fine. I can repeat again 10 times. Trust me, I don't get intimidated. We are all here to share and learn.
So out of all of the ones that you have right now, which one? So basically, when this is what I want to know, even though I have to go back to the videos and test them out again. Um, what when you're more selling than buying? You sell. So when you sell, is like when because I seen the setup for the sell. I never sold before. I only brought. And the sell is like, what am I doing when I'm selling? Like I'm buying this to sell it later, or am I just selling it? I don't get it.
So, I mean, so number one, you have to know your zones, right? So you are selling from the resistance, or you are selling from the high price, and you are buying off of the supports and off of the low, right? So that's essentially what we do. We are buying low and we are selling high.
Okay.
Does that help clarify a little bit more?
I still don't know what the selling is for.
Anis, can I chime in?
Hmm?
Hey,
Hello?
go ahead, Gus. Yeah,
Yeah, I think what some participants are asking is basically what you can do in the forex markets. You can bet whether a particular currency go up or down. It's not like buying stocks and holding them long. You can also bet against the market, or you could also bet against a currency. So there are two ways you can make money in forex. Paying, you're betting that the currency is going to go up, or you get money betting that it's going to go down. That's what I wanted to say. I think maybe some of the people don't know that because they're getting confused buying in the sun. They're buying the hold, and makes sense.
Yes. Yeah, that kind of made some more sense to me.
So, well, since you mentioned the concept of buying to hold and then sell later. So that's a whole another thing. I don't want to get into that with you right now, because I do want you to go through some basics. So that is the one concept that the banks and institutions do, right? So right here, you will get to that point, and it's also in the academy that I'm almost done making, so you will understand everything from the beginning to those advanced tradings. So right here, this is considered the demand zone, right? So what the demand means, that the people are not interested in buying at any of these higher levels, but in this zone right here, right? So we're just making the example. So this is the demand right here. So you would buy here just to sell it from this level right there, right? So you are buying low and you're gonna wait till it rises here to get some nice profit, and then you are look to this for some sells here, because it's a strong resistance and it's also the supply zone, right? So that would be the concept that you are mentioning, buying to sell it later, right? That's something that is referred to how banks do, and you know, institutions like hedge funds and investing firms and etc., right? But to learn that type of trading, you have to learn all the basics, like where to draw your proper support, where's the supply demand zone, where's the proper resistance, because you cannot put resistance right here, right? Because it's been broken so many times and it has no like a lot of validation. So you look on the higher time frame, preferably weekly than daily, to look for the stronger zones. Why? Because those are likely to be rejected more than like on 1 hour and 4 hour. On 4 hour and 1 hour, all you look for is the patterns, right? You look for the patterns and the breakouts that will confirm your analysis on the higher time frame. So hopefully that you know, makes a little more sense. But like, you know, it's really important to, you know, start from the beginning and, you know, just learn and build on that. Because if somebody is telling you, I'm going to explain you this concept, you're going to get confused first time you lose, because you will not know, oh, why did I lost this trade? This person told me this was the, you know, demand zone to just buy, right? But what can happen, this can just come up right here. It can just go as high as this, not all the way here, and then you will not know that you are supposed to use this tool called Fibonacci. They will show that this rejected at 50%, right? So now this will keep going down, right? And you will not understand why this happened, because you have that gap in, you know, building your skill set. Does that make sense? Like, I'm not trying to like put you in a spot or make you feel bad.
No,
Like,
that I need this.
you
I
know,
need this.
yeah, because we all like, I did a lot of crazy things, and I lost a lot of money until I learned it, you know, until I dedicated sleepless nights and all that good stuff, you know. So for that reason, Fibonacci is used to measure retracements off of the impulsive moves, and this move started here. As you see, the bearish momentum started there, and it currently stopped right here. So once you see the break in the momentum, that's when you use your Fibonacci to see, okay, is this gonna be the retrace to one of those key levels, and that will confirm further continuation to the downside, or this is actually going to reverse back because it's a strong zone, right? So we don't just like, you know, take the trade and then we you know, just let it be. You have to kind of understand, you know, what's going on in the market, and also if there was, let's say, UK election, how that can affect it. You know, they will be pretty much being, oh, I'm just gonna buy it and whatever. I'll check back in 2 weeks. You know, it doesn't work, you know, like that. Yeah, because you have to kind of take this serious to in order to make serious money. Otherwise, it can just turn into gambling, because you will just go off of the emotion and off of what you think will happen. But in the market, it doesn't work that way. It's actually, you have to trade what market presents to you, not what we think it will happen, right? What we think will happen, we based on all of our analysis and what the candlesticks are telling, you know, the story and all of that. That's when we form, you know, high probability thinking and investing action, right?
Yes.
So yeah, but you, like I said, there's a lot of sessions that, you know, I went over all of this. You can find on our YouTube channel. It's obviously completely free. So hopefully you can find some time to go over that, and then obviously feel free to reach out if there's any confusion. We can further explain it and find examples to, you know, help you understand it a little bit better.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, let me just try to catch up on this chat. Okay, GA, yeah, we're gonna look at GA. Yeah, definitely Forex and stock market is way different. Stock market is purely based on fundamentals, and you have to have knowledge of the balance sheets and financial statements. So that's another story. I don't want to get into that, but yeah. Yeah, Dania, that's a good suggestion. Yeah, Baby Pips definitely has a lot of great educational and learning material. Okay, GBP AUD. All right. There's still the uptrend. All right. Yeah, GBPs could be ready to go up this week. I am still in GNSL. For those who follow the trade I shared last week, I am still holding because I want to see how the daily closes. But let's see this. Okay, that's a nice resistance. All right, so real soon we will know what the next big move is on GA. So as you see here, it's been respecting this. Actually, this is weekly and the daily uptrend, this trend line right here. So this could be nice head and shoulders on the daily. So if this forms, right, like that, as long as it doesn't break above the weekly resistance, I see this going down. But however, we have a lot of support and fight back for this falling further down. Okay, no more messages. So we had a huge drop. It was a breakout caused by some fundamentals, but it came back below. And this, what I say, it could go up. It could definitely come up to retest this, right? This weekly resistance at 1.90500, just to round it up. It's easier to follow. Actually, I'll round it up. okay? So we could get this push up to retest this weekly resistance, because ever since we broke that weekly support that it used to be, we didn't really get a retest of that zone, right? So this could be a week that we, you know, see that happening, and then we will see once it gets to that level whether or not it will break above or we will actually get rejected, and we get finally break of this uptrend, right? Because we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tests and it didn't break. So every next one could result in that break, and then we have this entire zone to clear, right? And that will be like that entire zone is massive. It's like 12, what is it? It's like 1200 pips, right? But only once we get that breakout. For right now, let's go on a smaller time frame. Yeah, it's not really consolidated here. Break up. Now it's another consolidation. So yeah, like I said with the GJ, I would wait for London session to see if we get some breakout and direction. So yeah, but real soon we will know some big moves on GBPs as well. Yeah, this week we'll have some momentum for sure. You're welcome. You're welcome.
So can you explain a little bit more this the signal that you gave? Like, were you telling people to sell or to buy?
Which one?
The NZD CHF.
NZD CHF?
Uh-huh.
I did not give that. Where was that NZD CHF?
In the trading view.
We didn't go over NZD CHF. Are you sure it's not USD CHF?
That was a premium signal, NS.
Yeah.
Hold on. Oh, Sean called it. Okay. Yeah, sure. Let me see. Hold on. Oh, okay. Let's see. Oh, okay. So do you guys see this? Do you see this NZD CHF on the screen? Okay, so this is purely K2 strategy signal, right? Which is the trend continuation and momentum driven strategy, right? So composed of the few indicators that initially give you exactly what you should do. So here, the rules, simple rules for the signal to take is, so number one, we had a 30-minute bearish candle close, so the signal fired off, right? We have trend mirror confirmed that it's in the bearish trend, right? So that's another confirmation. Third confirmation, the candle that just closed bearish broke the support level, which is this green dashed line. So the way he measures the TP and stop loss, he usually goes for one for one risk reward, with the stop loss being just a little bit above the previous high, and then targeting next low. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but when he throws a signal, is he telling you like to sell or buy? I don't get it. That would be up. That would be up to you.
Oh no, he told you sell NZD CHF. He told you entry at 0.64607.
So you had share to sell it or to sell pressing buy? I'm so confused with this. I'm trying my best. I am.
Yeah, you are. So I don't know who first explained you the way the entering the trade is, but you are very confused with this buying and selling. So if you are selling, you are pressing sell, right? So you determine your lot size, and then you sell at the price that is given as an entry or under the entry field, right? So if he's sharing this, that means he's entering at that price. So if the price is above that level, you will put sell stop with this numbers like 0.64607, right? So that's what you do. If the price is below, like if it already dropped before he got the chance to share, that means you will put sell limit, because you will wait for it to retrace a little bit up to trigger your sell, and then you will put as your target what is written in there, 0.6442, and stop loss 0.6474794.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what that is.
Vanessa, right?
Yeah.
What's your platform? What are you trading on?
Forex.com.
Okay, so you don't use the MT4 app, right? You don't know what MetaTrader is?
I did it, but I have a problem with my last name. I'm married, so my last name, and they couldn't confirm it, so they have me on hold.
Well, the MetaTrader 4 is separate from your broker. MetaTrader 4 is just where you use to place certain trades, but Forex.com, I believe, uses its own platform. So if you're using Forex.com, it's a little different. Unless you have a Forex.com account as well, or not yet?
Yeah, I do.
Because maybe that's where the confusion is set in. I don't have one yet, so I can't really explain it better. But if one of the, like, if Sean was on the call, he'd be able to explain it because he has one. So maybe he could explain buying versus selling on the Forex.com platform. So I think that's where the confusion is for Vanessa.
Yeah, so there's also more into it with the forex.com. So they have three different type of accounts, right? So the account that I have with them, it doesn't support MetaTrader, right? You have to use their web-based platform to enter the trades, right? So if you have the type of the account that is only for MetaTrader 4, then you have to enter and exit your trades via MetaTrader 4 on your computer, laptop, or the app on your phone. But what you can do for sure is download forex.com app. They have their own, and you can place trades from there. The only difference with them and Oanda, as compared to other brokers like the offshore ones, is that they don't use 0.01, for example. They use 1,000 units. So every 0.01 would be another 1,000 units that you will enter the trade with. But I will really suggest you to, get little I mean, even forex.com has the explanation of it and how
Yeah,
it works.
if you look on YouTube, you might be able to find more explanation on that. Once you understand that a little bit better, then you'll be able to follow Anessa's Zoom calls a bit better, because he's explaining things that are a little bit more advanced. So, like, I don't know if you understand, the trend lines, the support and resistance, using the Fibonacci tools, things like that will come in time. But before you even get to that, you need to understand how to, place the trades properly, where buying and selling, and, understanding how that works. But there's definitely people that under you're in a premium chat as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, if you ask in the premium chat, there's several people that use Forex.com, so they could kind of walk you through it as well. I don't know if you see Aaron; he also knows it good too. So
Yeah,
it's different people.
I was speaking to Aaron, but I got kicked out of that chat already. I got kicked out of the regular chat, not the premium one.
Oh, you don't. So the premium is fine. He's in both chats.
Okay.
It's fine. You're fine.
Yeah. Well, we are all in there.
Anis, I have a question about the premium chat. What's the difference between the K2 Trades premium chat and just the regular K chat?
So what will happen going forward is that now that Aaron is also added to be officially sharing the trades and calling them, the premium subscribers will get all the signals, right? Even like so you will get more trades than just the free one. So we will all still obviously continue to share the free ones, but the premium members will get all the valid and high quality ones. So if we have 10
Okay,
valid,
so
go ahead.
so you're saying that you're going to be giving the signal in the K2 Trades premium section. So how's that different from the regular K2 trade alerts? Because I thought it was the trade alerts that Sean puts the signal.
Are you asking just about mine own or all of us?
Well, I see the alert. What I'm seeing here, I didn't see the like I usually go and check the K2 trade alerts. And
Okay.
that last trade you're talking, that New Zealand dollar, the one that you guys just talked about, I don't see that in two trade alerts, but I
Yeah,
do see it in the K2 Trades Premium.
yeah. So
I think it's the New Zealand dollar Swiss franc
yeah, I found it in the
at 10
premium.
o'clock tonight. That was 10 o'clock tonight, right?
Yeah. So
That was issued.
yeah, so that is what I was trying to say. So if let's say if there was the 10 trades for the week, right? They will all be in the premium, but in the free, it might be only 3 to 4 of them.
Okay.
Cause
Oh, so
go ahead.
okay. So the K2 Trade Alerts is the free one, is the free.
Yes,
Correct. Yeah.
But for the
that's
premium subscribers, okay, okay. All right, thank you.
yeah. For
All right.
for the K2 trades alerts, everything is free. Like the Zoom calls I do, and we all share trades there as well. So yeah,
Okay. All right, thanks.
no problem. Lonel, so I don't know what the ratio would be. That really depends on the setups, and because the thing with us, we don't just trade to trade. We trade good setups, high quality setups, the confirmed ones. So I honestly don't know what that would be because that started officially as of this year, right? It's something that Sean definitely wanted to work on, and really dedicate and emphasize more towards you guys that are premium subscribers. So we really cannot say how many it would be. It could be 20 a week, it could be 5 a week. So it really depends on the market and the setups. So I think the GA was the last request. So if you guys have another pair, feel free to drop it. Just want to see what the gold is doing. Gold looks like it's fine resistance. It may have just topped off and it could come back down. I really want to see this pullback to retest that broken zone. So we will see what happens.
Oh, damn. I think I did this wrong.
Then yeah, I expect it to. I really do. Unless they start tweeting and threatening each other tomorrow, so that can definitely drive, but we cannot foresee that, unfortunately. If we could, we would be in this buy since at least 1508. I mean, yeah, I mean that's one way to look at it, but it's just you just have to look at the you know what price action is doing. But yeah, it seems like it has found resistance in this zone right here, so we'll see if it starts pushing. But I do expect it to, you know, head at least nice retrace to, what is it, 1566, preferably 1555, because that is really the zone that needs to be retested after this breakout, as you see here. So I would like to see that. Okay. Just want to check UJ. I believe this has gapped to, yeah, did right there. So this we need to update. Hold on. I just saw the gap. Okay, there it is. Well, that gap was already closed. Yep. So nothing there. But we are at the, I don't want to do that. We are at the intraday support that is holding for right now. But I do think this will essentially continue dropping further down. USD JPY, if you look at the daily here, we had a breakout with the retest over there, and yeah, once this breaks, it will fall another 70 pips, but I'm really looking forward for it to break this daily support, because then we can just hold this for about 280 pips. But it could very well retrace, which is doing right now, like across USDs. So retrace to about maybe 35 to 45 pips on UJ, and then we can see where we will go from there. But I believe this will continue to downside. So yeah, if we get that retrace, it will be 38.2, and then we target 1618, which would be 200 pips. So yeah, I believe USD will experience weakness in the market. But I would be, like I said, really careful trading USD at least until this international conflict settles. But it could be a really nice setup after that retrace for sell. I would definitely like to enter that. So I'm gonna actually put the alert here. Okay. Yep. So that way, so for those who may not know, um, you can if you have a TradingView account, obviously, once you download the TradingView app onto your phone, all the alerts and everything that you set up to be notified once, let's say, here specifically we are looking for this retrace to 108,480, right? So if I'm asleep and this hits, I'm gonna get the notification, right? And that way I can pull up the chart and see, okay, we retrace there, is it gonna stop there, and we can enter the sell, or whatever the case may be. Like K2 alerts also, once you set them up, they will be just coming to your phone through the TradingView app. So don't forget to do that, so that way you don't miss out on trades, and you don't need to be glued to your computer to be getting notified about the trades, obviously. So yeah. NJ never came to retest this trend line. I had the alert there. That would have been nice sell entry, start selling off earlier than that. Almost at the daily trend line. Let's see. I mean, I don't mind if it does that, if it comes back up from here for then another push, and then we sell off from this weekly downtrend. It will be really nice entry. But it really depends on what JPY would be. I have read a little bit, and looks like the JPY might be strong this week, or just strong for the month. Then we would be entering off of the breakout, because if JPY is strong, that means NZD against it will, fall, and we can look for breakout to enter this sell. And yeah, I mean, this is one of the things I really do. Like, I'm patient. I'm not in a rush to enter the trade. I just wanna wait for good setup, and that gives me confidence, and I don't mind holding it when I know where the target will be. Let's see.
Anis, that NJ on the 30-minute time chart, there's a sell signal there, and it shows, it is, so it's not valid right now, that sell signal, the K2 sell signal, that's
No,
not.
it is valid. It is. It's still valid. You see, it closed bearish trend, but the thing is, the K2 support is right underneath. So that's
Okay,
what
yeah.
it seems like. It's preventing it from currently falling down. But I would honestly like it myself, just based on the price action, to see this fall, which would ended up which would end up successful for this signal, but also we will get a rejection or breakout of this trend line, because it hasn't really pulled back fully to this daily trend, right?
Okay, yeah.
So I would personally like to see that. I'm not in it. I'm not entering it, but I would like to see that happen. And yeah, this might be trying to form the bullish signal, but that's not gonna happen. So yeah. Are you in it or you're not?
No, I was thinking about getting into it, but it's not. I'm just not sure.
Okay. Well, if
I'm
you
not
enter,
really confident. Yeah.
yeah. Well, if you were to enter now, you would get even better entry because it's currently above the entry.
Exactly. Yeah.
So if you want to do the sell stop at the entry, you can do that, depending on your spread. But let me see. This is. So it's 19 pip TP, 19 pip stop loss. So 1 for 1. I mean, I think this will be this will hit TP. I do, even though the support is right there. I believe this will readjust.
What number do you have for the support?
So the K2 support is at 71,800.
800? Okay.
Is yours at the same level?
Um, were you looking at the daily chart?
No, I'm looking
The
at the 30
the
minute.
30-minute
Oh,
chart?
yeah. Oh,
Or
if
the
you want, go ahead.
No, I mean, you're saying you're looking at the 30, because I see the support lines on the 30-minute, the 60, so forth up to the. Those are support and resistance for those particular time periods.
Yeah, this is
Right?
because
But
this is a K2 SNR indicator.
yeah, yeah. Um, but you're saying you see on the 30-minute, I see the resistance at, no, I mean at the support at 71.14, something like that.
Okay, so that's gotta be on the higher time frame. So let's take a look.
On a 4 hour, what do you? 4 hour.
So the support, the intraday one on 4 hour would be at 71,515. So, and I think that will be reached, honestly, because that's kind of crossing of the daily trend and that support. So for that
Okay.
reason, I think it will drop a little bit more.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
Mm.
All right. Do you have any other pairs you wanted to look at, guys, or any questions about anything? Psychology, risk management, whatever it is.
Just make sure people look at also the on Forex Factory. I don't know if you
Yes.
mentioned that, and see if there are any high impact news.
Let's take a look now. Yeah, we usually do that. For some reason, I completely forgot. So we filter orange and red folders. So today, okay, well, this was already passed, so nothing for tomorrow. We have medium impact CAD news. I don't think that will do much, honestly. This is Tuesday. We have ISM, so that will be some liquidity. And AUD building approvals actually usually moves Australian dollar. That's at night. So that's Tuesday. And Oh, is this? Oh, this might be NFP week. I think actually it is. Yeah, because we have ADP on Wednesday. And then again, we have AUD trade balance. Thursday. Okay, CAD governor speaking. So that can move CAD. And then, well, we really have AUD news. And yeah, it's NFP. So yeah, Friday, big day. Big day on Friday. For CAD and USD. So really nothing major until Friday. So it should be good technical trading week besides international affairs. AUD really the only one that has noticeable red folders because building approvals, because I trade GA and EA, one of my main pairs. I remember building approvals really moves AUD. So watch out for that. And what else they had? Hold on. Retail sales. So even though it's marked as a red folder, that's usually been like medium to no impact. So I'm not concerned with this one. Trade balance could be a good catalyst. It definitely could. But this is big week for USD. You know, ADP, like I said, the things that are going in media, and it's NFP week on Friday. So, but this folder right here, building approvals, that's definitely gonna move AUD, especially if the actual report is, you know, has variance based on previous and the forecasted. But other than that, there's like nothing really for Euro, CHF, for NZD, for GBP. So for nothing for JPY. So there's you know, plenty things to trade to avoid possible news events. And yeah, NZD, CHF one more time, please. Sure. Do you want me to look at NZD, CHF just as you know, price action or K2 Ariel? And then we're gonna look at the oil price action. Okay, and I don't have it here, so here we go. Oh, it broke few supports, but let's remove that. Oh, this looks like it's headed south. Yep. Let's see this. Yeah, this should keep dropping. The only thing for the daily, we have daily support right in there. Okay, which still should keep dropping, right? So if you're following that K2 sell signal as the DCHF, definitely valid. Wait, did this head gap too? Yeah, it did. And why did? Oh yeah, NZT did gap. Okay. Well, you see, gap it covered the gap, and then it just continue its original direction, which is selling off. So I do expect it Ariel to drop another 30 pips for sure. So if you are in the sell, I would hold it. I do expect it to keep dropping more. But if you are not in this, I would definitely not look for a buy because it's in the middle of the zone. I would rather wait for it to come to this daily support and then do it. Same thing, I would not be chasing the sell unless you enter that K2 sell signal, because we can get pullback to retest this, even though we already had a retest on a smaller time frame. And then remember, sell high, buy low, and you're gonna do great. You just have to have the zones marked properly. You're welcome. You're welcome. Do you know how to trade with crude oil, news with oil? So, Lonel, that's a great question. So, the few things go into the price of oil, right? So you have to look at the Canadian strength, right? Because the Canada is number one oil exporter in the world, right? So strength of their national currency, which is Canadian dollar, is inversely related to the oil price. So if the Canadian dollar is strong this week, that means oil will go down, and vice versa. So that's one thing. That's from the fundamental perspective. Second, obviously, to do your analysis, see where the price is. Is it at the key zone? Do we have the pattern forming? What type of the pattern is? Is it the continuation one, or is it the reversal pattern, right? So those are all the approaches to trade it. But as far as the specifically trade the oil for the news release, I would try to do some research, see if there's more reserves as than it was the month ago, and try to see that pattern that it's creating, because some of those reports, you don't get the report for this same month. You're actually getting the report for the month before. You're just getting it delayed, right? So just keep that in mind, because like all the GDP gets measured and reported after the Q4 has ended, which Q4 just ended. So it will be sometime later in the month or beginning of the February that you will actually get the data for it. It's not like right away, so you have to pay attention to that to not get confused if you're following fundamental analysis, which is the news, economic reports, and all that good stuff. So hopefully that helps a little bit.
So I had a question. The Swiss franc that has good things for this week, you think?
Hold on, what do you mean Swiss franc? You mean NZD CHF, like New Zealand
Yes.
franc?
Yeah, as in the just CHF, correct?
Yeah, I do think it will fall another 30 pips. I really do. Let me just throw the template on. Yeah, I mean, you see how now the support adjusted, Gus, and now it's showing that the candle is actually below that support. So once this starts pushing a little bit lower, this support will readjust further down if you are following the K2. But
Yes, I am.
also just off of price action, it is due to another 30 pips drop.
Okay.
So as far as what market is telling us now, the price of New Zealand against the Swiss franc or CHF should fall some more before we can look into, you know, some recovery.
Okay.
So yeah, I try to EuroCAD. Oh, good one, my man. Where have you been? Damn, I haven't traded this in a minute. Actually, it's turning into valid sell on K2. Let's take a look. Damn, we can tell I didn't trade this in a minute. Look where I have zones. So we don't need that. We don't need that. Damn, this has EuroCAD got beat up big time. Okay, let's see. I mean, this is really weekly support. Certainly is. Yes, certainly is bearish momentum. Honestly, I do see this falling. That's number one to answer your question. But I don't see it breaking this weekly support, right? I do expect, let's delete that. I do expect some recovery in euro. So whether we can get this double bottom on 1 hour as well as 4 hour, right? So let it push down, and let's see if in London session we can look in some buys, right, from this support. Because you see, it hasn't been broken in very long time. Like, when was the last time the price broken this level? Was April 2017. So 2 years and 9 months ago, right? But yeah, this should cover this week with the bearish momentum and stop at this weekly support, and that's where we can look for some buys. Because also on the 4 hour they will present double bottom, which is a bullish reversal pattern, and 4 hour is, you know, decent to go off of. If anything, it will give you know, some decent push up, but I don't really expect this momentum to break the support, because if that happens, this pair will, like, next support is really another 180 pips down. So it's kind of a lot of beating that it took, but I wish we were, you know, holding the sell from here, because we would be in some amazing profits, but at least we have our, you know, resistance and supply zone, right? We just have to wait for this. If you are in it, I think we just saw that this was forming the sell on 30 minutes. Actually, it did trigger sell at the moment. It didn't align with the trend, but the trend is kicking in now. So yeah, it should. I mean, it definitely even had it fallen down with, to K2 support. So yeah, another, what would that be? Another 34 pips. So I like it. If you're selling and looking to sell for about 30 pips, I do like that. I think it's happening. Okay, yeah, I mean, it's a decent scalp. I mean, technically, scalp is considered between 5 and 15 pips, right? You know, there's no like one unified definition. Oh, it's 5 pips. No, it's 10. So anywhere between few pips to about 15, in my personal opinion, it's considered scalping. From like 30 to 50 to 60 is intraday, even sometimes 780, depending on the pair. If it's GBP, then it's definitely between 40 and 80 uh, intraday. And obviously, swing trading, you know, 150 plus pips. But again, it all depends on the momentum. Like GBPs, you know, they can move 150 pips, you know, throughout the London session. So your intraday average goes up by a lot. Okay. So yeah, you see again, it's taking away the trend confirmation, but I I'm I cannot say 100%. Nothing is really 100%, but it's likely that it will fall further down before we actually see some reversal. So it should be really interesting London session. I'm about to go get 5-hour energy because could be some nice moves. Hopefully, I can either take a quick nap or just stay up. Um, think that would be a better option because I've been up since 6 a.m.
Wow.
Was that?
I said, wow. I said, wow, 6 a.m.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't sleep much, honestly. I have one day in a week where I kind of catch up, but yeah.
Okay. So what do you, so out of all of the pairs that you told us about today and explained, none of them are viable for right now?
At the moment, no, but there's a possibility that we will have Euro and GBP pairs for a buy in the London session, if they confirm, right? So I would just look for the breakout to buy them.
Okay. Okay. You said the JB, I'm sorry, what was the names again?
Hold on. It was GBP, JPY.
JPY, okay.
One of them. But don't buy it unless you see confirmation. Like unless it breaks 14150, I would not be buying it. Which is already rejected. No.
Okay.
So that would be the buy. The sell would be break of what is that? 149.50.
And what was the buy?
So the buy on the breakout of 141,500 for GBP, JPY, or British pound and Japanese yen.
Okay. So when I see it on 140, sell, and then if I see it on 100, buy.
When you see the price pushing above 141,500, then you will look for the buy, and you would look for the sell
Okay.
once you see start breaking 140,900.
Okay, thank you.
Or you can just wait until I see it confirm, and then I will share with everybody
Okay.
if I enter it. So
Okay.
all right.
Thank you.
No problem. You're welcome. Okay. Do we have any other pair, guys, or questions? Remember, you can unmute yourself to speak up, or type in the chat, whichever one you prefer.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good, good. One question. How was the Bitcoin on also everybody speaking on Bitcoin and where it's gonna end up going and stuff like that. Where's your take on it?
On a Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Honestly, I told them earlier when we looked at it that I would hold on. I put it in here. Yeah. So I told them honestly, I would wait to see the breakout of 7,800 because it's a weekly resistance and it hasn't been above that level for a little while. And then if it breaks 7,800, I would go for 8,400. So that would be 600 pips.
Okay.
But it has a chance to come back up and just reject that zone and sell off again.
Okay. I usually don't trade it, but yeah, a lot of people talking about it this week and where it could go and stuff like that.
Right.
So just my turn.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I mean, I haven't really traded cryptos in a while. I've been just, investing, buying coins on Coinbase. So yeah, I mean, but that's my like long-term investment. So I'm gonna hold that for, like 2-3 years until it really makes a difference.
Oh, okay. So you buy it on Coinbase, is it?
Yeah, on Coinbase. I use Coinbase. I did register to hold on, I think it was Binance. But I didn't I don't think like I finalized them. But they do have a little more coins to offer than Coinbase. So but again, like I mainly invest in the Stellar Lumen, in the Tron and Ripple. Definitely Ripple. That's like my number one go-to.
Ripple?
Yeah, definitely Ripple.
Okay, cool. Is the Bitcoin investment
What's that?
that's like a basically a digital wallet more or less, right? Bitcoin based on those sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
what we use to do?
sorry, what was the last thing you said?
Oh, what that will be just buying the coins for when it was worth it, you're increasing its worth by investing it, or is it just that you're buying it for personal use in the future?
Well, yeah, so I'm buying them to see if they're gonna reach their, highs again, like, like Ripple used to be at $3 before. So
Okay.
I'm expecting that price to, happen again, possibly even higher than that. because this could be a big year for them, because there have been a lot of announcements that they trying to have them like a centralized to be like officially accepted as a digital currency in the way of payment, like worldwide.
Right.
So there will be a lot of push for that. I mean, there was attempt before, but it's been turned down. So that's why the price across all of them fell that much.
Right.
But I just honestly think it's inevitable that it will be accepted. It's just a matter of time, and once that happens, I think they will skyrocket.
Okay, cool. Oh, and my other question, I remember. Goal against other pairs like AUD and GBP and stuff. Why aren't those popularly traded like USD?
Sorry, why did I trade it? Which one?
No, like how gold is usually traded against US pairs. US, sorry, XAU USD, right? But
Yeah,
I noticed that gold basically has correlation with GBP, Euro, and stuff like that. That they could trade those XAU against Euro or against GBP as well, right?
yeah. I mean, that does have correlation, but I still validate them through like the setup and what it's showing to me. Um,
Hmm.
I know like when dollar is strong, euro tends to be weak, and
Right.
and and vice versa. So I do expect recovery in euro,
Hmm.
definitely euro, and I do believe that the dollar will maybe start off the week a little stronger, just to get like I told them earlier, to get some like a retraces across the pairs, but I think it will continue with the weakness.
Yeah. So you don't trade like XAU, GBP and stuff like that, or it's just USD alone?
No, yeah, it would be XAU euro and XAU GBP. I don't, just USD.
Okay, because I know that the others aren't as popular, but they seem to move the same basically in terms of the momentum. If gold momentum is bearish, it will be bearish across all of them. If it's bullish, it will be bullish usually across all of them. But
And that's actually good attention to catching that. I'm not sure for the GBP, but I know XAU euro and XAU USD, they do move exactly the same. So if the gold is going up, then it goes up against euro and USD at the same time.
oh, okay, okay, okay.
So that is true. That I know that for DBP, I'm assuming is the same outcome. But
Hmm.
I never really looked at that, so I don't want to tell you. Yeah, it's also GBP. So
Oh, okay, okay. I
you know what I
understand. I
mean?
understand.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't. Yeah, I don't just I don't like to make assumption that it is until I check it. But for gold against euro, yeah, it does move in same direction where it moves against USD.
All right.
Yeah.
And I think last time you would have spoken as well too. I don't know if you covered it tonight because I came in late, but the Aussie dollar and stuff where it had a lot of momentum over the last I think what 2-3 weeks, and it looks like it now began to slow down. Like with the whole events of like for example the fire and stuff, which I know those Australia has a lot of economical factors. So I don't know how money would be, how the market would shift if with the whole fires and stuff. That would have any effect on the market, you think?
I mean, yeah, it could be in effect, but like
Mm,
like like I look for multiple things. I don't just focus specifically on the one. Um, like
right,
momentum will definitely kick in starting tomorrow, because everybody should be back from the vacation, all institutions, banks, and all of that. So I believe like
right.
this week and maybe next week, it should like you know, set the trends for like across the market for at least like 2-3 months from this point on. So
Right.
it will be a really interesting week. uh, it's just like now with the USD, you know, the fundamentals again are, you know, it's just they can change a lot of things. So I'm not personally looking to trade USD a lot unless it's a good setup,
Mm-hmm.
because it, you know, it can be any tweet or any like breaking news that can just like drive this few hundred pips up and down.
Yeah, right now it's NFP this week, and then Trump mayhem, and what that could cause a lot shift in the market for US.
Yeah,
So
and it's also an NFP week, so yeah,
yeah.
it's yeah. I will be. I already told them I will be careful with USD unless you really have good info and you're
Mm-hmm.
willing to, you know, take that risk.
Right. Anything big would be a smart trade this week, basically.
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, there's really only one AUD report and NFP.
Right.
So I mean, so it should be really good week for like rest of the pairs like Euro, Yen, GBP, even NZD,
Right.
CHF. There's really no news that can like affect them, so they should really follow like the uh, proper analysis, like the price action and
Right.
and technicals along with it. So I don't think they should be any like manipulation across of them.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Right, man.
But yeah, specifically on the gold, me myself, like I mean, I traded. It's probably the pair I had most success with, along with
Mm-hmm.
GEA.
Mm-hmm.
I would just like to see this retrace back down to this level that it broke, and then look for the buys from there.
So where you see it going to this week, because NFP you're not too sure whether the NFP will carry it. You think it will be bearish or bullish?
I think it will end bullish for the week.
Mm.
I think it will end
Okay.
bullish. Yeah, but hopefully, you know, we get this retrace before that, so that we can buy at a better price.
55. That was the last high, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, well, right now is at 1577.
Right.
Yeah, we.
So about 200 down, I think.
So yeah, from this level, 210 pips down. I would hope for the retrace, or at least to 50. What is this? At least to 1568, which is still like 90 pips.
1568.
Yeah, at least that,
Yeah. Okay.
because that will be this previous low of that 4-hour candle. So maybe make equal lows and then continue up, or we even get this retest back down before going back up.
Okay. Because I think the last couple NFPs did carry cool bullish. I think it was only one of recent was bearish
Yeah.
before the bullish momentum kicked in. And I don't think was the highest gold has reached. This is the highest. Not so? For of recent.
I mean, yeah, they definitely broke this level that it struggled to pass before. So it is in the completely new fresh zone, and for that reason, I believe it will continue rising. And the next resistance is at 1618, so 1618.
So that's about 300 and something pips.
Uh,
How much?
410 from the current level.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So if we can get the entry at the lower price, that would be great.
Yeah. And well, you will usually hold it longer based on the momentum.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. All right, so good. Very good. Let's look into it. Shall we?
Yeah, but it seems like it has found, you know, some resistance here, so that could indicate retrace back down before, you know, we gain some more momentum to, you know, keep going higher.
All right.
Oh,
I'm surprised it broke that spike in Uganda. That was at the point in time when Trump tweeted, because I was asleep after when I saw the that spike and I was wondering if something happened that caused it.
yeah, well, this is actually how market opened, and the market opened with the weak dollar based on, you know, this what's going on between US and Iran at the moment. So that was just
All right.
fundamentally driven like that. I mean, from here to there, it's like 370 pips, you know,
It was unexpected.
in 1 hour candle.
Hmm.
But I mean, I don't think anybody um, was like really entering once the market opened today. Usually, who was in it, they were just holding.
All right.
Because I don't even know. Let me go 5 minutes. Yeah, because it didn't really like gapped. It just like as soon as from the opening, it just kept tuning up.
So yeah, I see that, you know. And
Yeah.
it began to normalize after that.
So it's a, you know, big spike.
Hmm. Corrected itself. So it could really correct itself down and then continue momentum upwards.
Yeah. So yeah, that would be preferable outcome because that would, you know, shows us you know, that it actually, you know, following technicals again. It's not just relying on, you know, news releases and stuff like that.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. Okay, no questions. So let me know once again, guys, if you have any questions, anything. So we can check it. Okay, nothing. Okay. Well, if you guys don't have any questions, I would just like to conclude it. Wanna, you know, thank you for joining and also staying till the end, because that shows you are serious. I know I say this at the end of every session to people who stay till the end, but it really is that way. Because you never know, if you leave early, you might miss out something. Someone else can join and share something that actually, you know, make whole a lot of sense to you and really help you on this journey. So shout out to you guys. Also, I will try to have session tomorrow night as well, and we can add some training to it. A few people asked me to do training on the you how to use Fibonacci properly, so we can definitely, you know, throw that training in there, as well as, you know, look how did market move and reacted the very first day back to, you know, normal trading week and schedule. So yeah, hopefully I'm gonna really make an effort to make that happen, so we can, I guess, hang out tomorrow night too. So But yeah, if we don't have any questions, I will go ahead and conclude, and I'll chat with you guys in the chat until tomorrow night. Oh, you're welcome, Dave. No problem, brother. And have a good night, guys.